everybody. I have a question for you all. Did anyone else's mother fix their balu in the cocktail hour? Okay, yes. So I'm not the only one. So hello to my mom who's in the audience today. Well, everybody, when I received the invitation to speak here tonight, I thought that surely this is a mistake. Why would they pick me out of all the people that are here on this list? And I'm looking at some of you very famous people right now that I'm so stunned to be in front of. But when I asked, they said, it's not an accident. We want you here to share your story. So here I am. I am an immigrant from Bangladesh, and I moved to the United States, to New York City in 1987 when I was 5 years old. When I first arrived in the US, I remember stepping off the plane into the terminal, and I saw a man standing in the middle of the airport. He was actually on his knees, and his arms were outstretched, and he had tears in his eyes. My mother whispered to me, "That's your father. Go give him a hug." This story is not unlike millions of immigrants' stories here in the US. My father had arrived in the United States years before my mother and my brother and I could join him, being here so long that I forgot who he was. After we arrived, my story growing up here as an immigrant in the United States in New York City was not unlike that of others. My father worked long hours in a restaurant, and I would only see him on Mondays, his day off. My father would pick us up from school and take us to the deli on the corner and buy us a fruit punch that I would beg him for. My mother, who was an accomplished writer back home in Bangladesh, I remember her first job here, which was at a Hallmark card shop. I remember because she would take me there and I would eat the chocolates. And although my childhood was filled with love, it was undoubtedly filled with the struggles that are so normal to all of us, the financial struggles, the economic struggles, the cultural struggles that bind all of us together. So let's talk about immigrant parents. They are truly the unsung heroes of all of our lives. They wander, they search, they struggle, and they strive, all so that they can give their children a future that they could never have for themselves. My father liked to say to me, "Mo, when I am gone, you will understand." And I know lots of you probably say that to your kids too, but I have to say right now that I do understand. I do understand how my father's love of adventure, curiosity for the world, curiosity for all the people that he worked with in the restaurant industry fueled my love of cultures and immigration and human rights. I understand now what a trailblazer my own mother, Moumita Rahman, has been. She had a job working at the US Embassy when I was little in Dhaka, and I remember her coming to visit me at recess, bringing me corn on the cob. She would take me to driving lessons with her in Dhaka, and if you're from the 1980s in Bangladesh, it was a pretty rare sight to see a young woman with a 4-year-old child in the passenger seat of a Volkswagen Beetle driving the streets. And we did not wear seatbelts that I can remember. Like most immigrant moms and like most immigrants, she carried a triple burden: the burden of leaving a home behind, the burden of being in a new land, and the burden of trying to find an identity for herself. She taught me the importance of perseverance. She taught me to never give up. She never stopped dreaming. She became a writer, a teacher, an educator, and an activist. If you have ever ridden a bike on the streets of New York, please thank my mother who fought for a bike lane on Queens Boulevard after our brother's death. So today, I stand in front of you as a child of immigrants, as a daughter of queens, and as an immigration lawyer who has stood beside countless individuals who have suffered persecution, trauma, and injustice throughout the world. My clients have told me so many times that they have felt unseen and invisible in this society that they work so hard to build. They are looking for a glimmer of hope so that they can survive. I am blessed and fortunate to have been able to help thousands of individuals throughout this country through my work. And today, I own one of the fastest growing immigration law firms in the United States, ranked the 418th fastest growing company in the US by Inc. 5000 last year, employing more than 125 caring and compassionate individuals who believe that immigrants' lives matters. And these numbers, I'm not just saying them to say them, these numbers mean something. They mean that we can help so many more individuals. And I have an inherent belief that there is no such thing as a lesser person, and every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. And this is why I am so proud to support SACSS. For the past 25 years, they have been here to help those who need help, to lift others up, and to empower the immigrant community. We are oftentimes ignored, mistreated, and invisible in this country. They have served so many people throughout these years, and I won't repeat the numbers because you've heard them, but when I learned that they had served just 300,000 people alone last year, I was stunned. I was shocked. I had never heard of so much help being given out. And without their thoughtful and tailored approach, so many persons who are alone in this country for the first time would struggle even more. I think of my mother and my father, who is now passed, who would have benefited so much from the services that this organization provides had it existed at the time that they came to this country. SACSS is committed to justice. SACSS is committed to providing those opportunities so that those in our own community who we ourselves tend to overlook can lift themselves up. I know that in front of you today, you see the QR codes, you see the envelopes. Your support to SACSS matters. When you are helping SACSS with your financial contribution, you are fueling a movement. You're fueling a movement that is meant to empower those of us here and those in the community that want to strive for themselves. One of my main motivations through my law firm and through my work is this vision that I have of creating a riptide of change throughout this country. For when you help one person, you don't impact just them. You impact their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, their neighbors, and all the kids that are involved. And SACSS strives to help create riptides of change the same way. Their help helps families grow and find stability and find support. When you help SACSS, you're rewriting stories. You're replacing fear with opportunity and survival with thriving. This is real lasting change that we should all be proud of because we are not in this alone. This is a global community. When one person suffers, we all cannot move forward. So thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your supporting this mission. And thank you for being here tonight.